What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. This is about to be either the most fun video I've ever recorded, or I'm going to scrap it in 10 minutes. I'm here on an NBA player generator. Alright, what the goal is today is I'm going to auto-generate 3 NBA players, and I got to spin them into being, like, good players. So I kind of got to hype them up. I don't know who the players are going to be, obviously, because it's a random generator. Wrong freaking light, dummy. But I obviously don't know who the players are going to be, so let's see who we get. And then I'm going to be using, like, cleaning the glass, or, you know, if it's an all NBA guy, that's a little bit easier. But I'm going to try and spin them into, like, a positive light or make them good. Now, this is not my video idea per se. I'm kind of taking this idea from Foolish Bailey, Foolish Baseball. If you guys like baseball stuff, he did a video where he took comments from his Twitter and made random MLB players seem good, spinning narratives. So that's what the plan is today, except with NBA players, and obviously I don't have the viewership he does, so I'm using a random NBA player generator to do it instead of comments. Pretty straightforward. Let's get going right now. 3, 2, 1. Alright, LeBron's here. Well, that's number one. Alright, LeBron is pretty good at basketball. You know, Mr. 25, 7 and 7, 25, 8 and 7. You know what you're going to get out of LeBron. Top 3 greatest player to ever touch a basketball. The guy's going to get MVP votes damn near every year of his career from, like, the age of 21 onward. He's made an All-NBA team just about every year he's played basketball. So, you know, I don't think I need to talk you up about LeBron more. And also, he's like 40, still going just as strong as he did the year before. He's not human. Y'all know that. Bron ain't human. All right, Jarrett Culver. How am I going to spin Jarrett Culver? Let's go to cleaning the glass and see if Mr. Jarrett Culver does anything well enough for me to gas him up about. Now, what I remember from Jarrett Culver is an insanely good college run. He was in... Oh, my God. So Jarrett Culver was a really good college player. He makes short mid up 2 of 3. All right, middies, he was 4 of 8. 4 of 8 on middies. What are we talking about for 3? I'll move myself to the top right corner. Nothing. All right, so Jarrett Culver, he's really good at mid-ranges. He took 8 of them. He made 4. That's elite in my book. You know, he took 42 shots at the rim, drew 5 fouls, made 17 of them. It's pretty good. He's a good rim finisher. There we go. Great finisher at the rim. You know, effective field goal. Who cares about effective field goal percentage? We're looking at rim shots. This is baby Giannis right here. 6'7" wingspan. Finishes 95th percentile from the rim, 96th. Jarrett Culver's a beast, man. What about the on-off stats? What are those like? He gets boards. He gets offensive rebounds. There we go, JC. All right, Jarrett Culver is an elite turnover percentage guy. Good offensive rebounder, too, I guess. Maybe that's just who he's on the floor with. Who's he playing with? Let's go to lineups. Who is Jarrett Culver playing his PT with? Okay. Didn't get any PT last year. That's no bueno. All right, what about the year before that? Oh my God. None of these were really... You know what? That's a good lineup right there. Him, DeJounte, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, and Clint. That's a good little lineup. Plus 8-point differential. Now, Trey, DeJounte, Culver, Vitt, and Clint. That's not a beautiful point differential at negative 26 just about. But you know what? Jarrett Culver, elite rim finisher. And a good offensive rebounder. Doesn't turn the ball over a ton either. Jarrett Culver, good ball player. And then the last one was Evan Fournier. That's gonna be a tough one. He hasn't played in a while. Doesn't really get PT when he does. Oh my God, he actually had a higher usage rate than I thought he did last year, to be honest. 9% turnover percent. Doesn't turn the ball over. Remember that one random 16-game stint in Boston? I wish I didn't. What does Evan Fournier do well? Well, in 2024, Evan Fournier shot pretty good in the midi. That's a pretty good midi. All mid, 35 of 71. It's pretty good mid-range shooting. 29% from 3, though. Wow, I didn't realize Evan Fournier's 3-point drop-off was this crazy. I mean, he was an elite shooter. By the way, Boston can turn anybody into freaking Reggie Miller, Steph Curry with the 3-point shot. All right. You're gonna see it with Xavier Tillman this year, but Evan Fournier was a 46% shooter with the Celtics. I don't remember that. He was always a really good shooter, though. Like, you look at all these years in Orlando, Denver. Jesus, I forgot about the Denver years. Weird times. But he was an elite shooter, 41% on 380 attempts. Like, that's pretty good. Always was a playoff shrinker, I believe. Can I filter playoff shots? I want to see if I can find playoff shots. Yep, always was a playoff shrinker, they told us. And when he was with Orlando, they always said he was a playoff shrinker. I remember fans saying that. And, yeah. 4th. Oh, he only took 6. Thank God. 4th percentile for rim shooting is diabolical. But yeah, playoff shrinker, they always told us. You know what? Screw the playoffs, though. We ignore those. I don't know. He's traded 3-point shooting for middies. Sounds pretty good to me, I guess. I don't know. Evan Fournier, weird ball player. Ken Ball, though. Ken Ball. Who's he played with this year for on-off? All right, he's been an absolute net negative, but look at the points per possession. Defensively, Evan Fournier's putting the clampers on. Look at the on-off numbers for defense. They aren't scoring on Fournier. The Detroit Pistons need Evan Fournier. Hashtag extend Fournier. Hashtag max out Fournier. All right. This is elite defense right here. Am I just trolling? Maybe. You'll never know. Shout out Fournier. All right. He played with Chimezie Metu and James Wiseman. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at these lineups. Malachi Flynn, 50-piece Flynn. Troy Brown, bust. Chimezie Metu, energy guy. Metu and Wiseman is atrocious hoops, all right? But look at the defense. That's pretty good defense. And that's all Evan Fournier. 100% of that is Evan Fournier. All right, let's generate 3 new NBA players. 3, 2, 1. Giannis. Yeah, he's not a bad ball player, Giannis. He can hoop. You know, finishes at the rim real well. MVP winner, DPOY winner. How many MVPs have a Defensive Player of the Year? LeBron doesn't, and that's who we just spun for, and I said he was top 3 all time. Is Giannis better than LeBron all time? Maybe. PB&J. PB&J, where is he still a Warrior? I haven't checked on PB&J in a while. What's Pat Baldwin up to? Oh. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing for frequency? Oh. He finished at the rim real well. He finished at the rim really well. 3-point shooting is just not there. He took 60 last year and made 25, and then he took 81 this year and made 26. Okay, so, all right, so he took 20 more threes this year and made 1 more. That's not ideal. It's not ideal. All right, but 2 of 15 from the mid. Oh my God. What does he do well? Let's find something. Defense. Minus 6 points per possession when PB&J is defending. You're getting locked, son. Let's look at opponent shooting while he's on the court. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. He'll contest the shit out of your long midi. Oh yeah, you want to get to the... Oh my goodness, that's actually pretty good effective field goal percentage, Mark. How many minutes did he play last year? Oh, 405 in Washington. Oh yeah, he was part of the Jordan Poole deal, wasn't he? Why do I forget? I just be forgetting Patrick Baldwin plays in the NBA, but if you look at this defense, I don't know how I could forget. I mean, this is basically Dennis Rodman, 6'9", wing, center type thing. Really long wing, but defends real well. If he could put the ball in the hoop, I mean, we're talking about a productive player. Oh, Kezi. Oh, is it pronounced Kezi or Kezi? Because I thought it was pronounced Kezi for a while. Kezi Okpala. He hasn't played in the NBA. He did. 214 minutes with the Kings last year. Huh. I did not know that. 0 percentile for usage. You know what? That's not his fault. But look at the assist to usage. Bro, he doesn't turn the ball over. Mr. No turnovers. He's still 25? What year? 2019 draft and he's 25? He was drafted that young? Huh. Didn't know that. No offensive bag. Oh my Christ. 07. All right. So... what are we looking at? Corner threes, 5 of 12. All threes, 5 of 9. So he's 5 of 7. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 of 12 from the corner, but he can't shoot from anywhere else. He was in Miami for a little bit. Yeah, he was in Miami. Completely When did he even get PT like that with Miami? At the rim, 5 of 7. Long mid, 1 of 2. 1 of 2 from the long mid. That's a bucket right there. That's a pure bucket. All right, what's the on-off? Again, the defense, man, I'm finding something here, you know. KZ Okpala, defensive wizard out here. Let me look up, is it pronounced KZ or Kezi? It is KZ. Okay, it is KZ. All right, he did not play in 23-24. He was waived. Ooh, wow. All right, 1.3 points, but collegiate career. You know what? Can I go right from here to his collegiate career? I would like to see it. I don't think I can go right from here directly to college. Either way, KZ was a good player at Stanford. Second round pick. He's a good defender. That's what I found. KZ Okpala can defend. All right, new set of players. 3, 2, 1. Pascal Siakam. All right, Pascal is the necessary to keep the Pacers afloat. He is the necessary piece to make this Pacers team a competitor. Without Pascal, they're too reliant on the break and basically getting easy transition points. With Pascal, they can chill in the half court, and they can make a half court offense work because Pascal is just that good as a scorer. I mean, you saw it in the playoffs. He was giving hell. Pascal is such an underrated player, and he's probably going to be for a majority of his career because he started in Toronto. Nobody cares about Toronto if you're in the U.S. And then he gets traded to Indiana, which is basically the U.S. equivalent to being a Raptor. Nobody really cares about the Pacers. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Pascal is an amazing player, and he's so underrated in a half-court sense. He used to be Mr. Fast Break as well. Back when he was with Toronto, he was, getting out on the break, and that's when he was most exciting, was when he was running. But now in the half-court, I mean, he'll give you buckets, man. I'm not going to be disingenuous. What did Siakam do last year in terms of advanced numbers? Yeah, just what I thought. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over. He stopped turning the ball over, really, in Indiana last year. Just completely stopped turning the ball over. I think that's because he wasn't the focal point of, the offense. In Toronto, he was being relied upon to be kind of the initiator of the offense once Freddie left and Lowry was gone and all that. Still shot 39% from 3. Good mid-range shooter. Always has been a decent mid-range shooter. Very respectable mid-range numbers. He's just been really good for a while. Pascal, of course, I have a notoriously bad tweet that I'm going to find from maybe 17. And I said the Raptors are screwed because there are 2 picks that they took in, at the time it was Jakob Poeltl and Pascal Siakam. And I said, I don't see either one of those guys turning into stars for the Raptors anytime soon. Bada boom. Here we are with Pascal Siakam with a couple of all-star selections, I believe. And that's still my worst take to date. Then again, he was also averaging 19 minutes per game when I said he wasn't going to be a star, but shit still happens. I'm proud of the player Pascal's turned into. We're going to talk about Aaron Gordon, AG. AG has always been good. You look at Aaron Gordon in all his years in Orlando, and it was just disappointing. Can I be frank? His stint in Orlando was disappointing to me. This guy was taken, what pick? Number 4. And I saw something damn near generational out of Aaron Gordon coming out of Arizona back in 2014. And it just wasn't there in the NBA. That draft class ended up being role player paradise, except for a couple of guys. But in terms of being a role player, Aaron Gordon just never fit in Orlando. But it really, looking back on it in hindsight, it should have been better. You look at what Aaron Gordon does now for Denver, you'd see a dirty work for a physical guy who likes to guard bigs when Jokic isn't. Or give Jokic a break and he'll take guarding a big man for a possession or 2. If he did that in Orlando more, or if they knew how to utilize him better, I mean, he'd be a guy that'd be guarding for Vooch, because Vooch is a mess defensively. Look at the rim numbers kind of fall off last year, though, huh? The whole production kind of went off last year. I mean, then again, he is playing big compared to forward. I don't know if that's even changed. I don't know if that's true. Who would you say their 4-man was last year? Bruce, maybe? Now, obviously, we know Aaron Gordon can't shoot worth a damn. He just can't. But, man, is he such a good defender. Yeah. Always has been a pretty good and respectable defender. But let's go shooting at, not team. Opponent shooting. he was actually a pretty mid defender at the rim. Yeah, it's kind of tough for him at the rim because he's got Jokic as his interior presence, and Nikola Jokic isn't necessarily a rim defending big. He's a deflections big. But as a defender, I mean, corner 3 percentage down, 3% 3-point percentage in general down. You know, he more guards bigs nowadays, though, so it's hard to kind of grade him as if he was guarding guards because he doesn't guard guards. There's a real chance I'm hearing that he's going to be out of Denver soon, and I don't get why. He might be the most perfect fitting piece on their team next to Nikola, but if money's the issue, Mr. Booth. I mean, look at the defense, though, when he's on. The defense is just way better. Where's their starting lineup? Yeah, right. Well, this one has KCP in it, obviously, but, you know, the defense is still pretty good and respectable. But Aaron Gordon is just, like, the perfect a big combo with Nikola because he sits dunker spot, and he's just physical. He does the dirty work that Nikola really can't or shouldn't even be doing. Lastly, we got Slow-Mo. I love me some Kyle Anderson. Slow-Mo is kind of underrated. He's bounced around, too. People don't realize how many teams he's played for. San Antonio, Memphis, Minnesota, and then I thought he signed somewhere else recently. Either way, him in San Antonio was interesting, and that's kind of where he made his name for himself. He's a point forward. Now, of course, that 3-point jumper looks like it hurts badly. He was a 41% 3-point shooter last year in 100 attempts. Has he ever been close to 100 attempts in his career? Oh my God, 258? I did not realize he was getting up 258 threes in Memphis that one year. My goodness. But look at the mid-range shooting. I mean, he's always just been consistently good. He's Mr. Reliable, and he's a jack of all trades. He can pass, he can defend, he can kind of shoot the ball, he can kind of score the ball. He does everything good enough. On-off numbers, yeah, they support what I'd see too. Kyle Anderson on-off numbers are usually pretty good. He's a guy who can run a bench lineup. He's still only 31 despite playing older than that. And yeah, I mean, he's slow. Yeah, I know. Everyone calls him slow-mo, but that's just the truth. He is slow. But this is pretty good. I mean, these are pretty decent on-off numbers right here. Defensive-wise, he's holding up well. Not as much as he did when he was younger, because when he was younger, he was obviously a little bit more athletic, but being a 6'9" wing in and of itself will help you defensively. You never really see that very often. I don't go on the trends tab very much, but this is a pretty cool chart. What lineups was he playing in mostly last year? I'm guessing bench lineups, or maybe lineups with Rudy No Cat. No, he played with both. Yeah, Rudy No Cat. That was the second most played lineup. And that was pretty good. Offensively disgusting. Offensively terrible, apparently. 8th percentile in points per possession, but look at the defense. I mean, the defense is pretty good. Held up well. Oh my goodness. Anthony Edwards, Nikhil, Slow-Mo, Nas, and Rudy defensively. That is Clamp City. That is Clamp City. 96th percentile, 97 points per possession, and that's in 193 minutes. That's not a small sample. That's like enough to make a small judgment on. Kyle Anderson really produces in just about every facet. All right, last one, 3, 2, 1. Page the pictures, please. All right, Brook Lopez. Ooh, Brook Lopez has been the same player for about a decade and a half now. When did he come into the league, Brook Lopez? It's been a while, I'll tell you that much. My God, he's about 37 years old. He came in 2009. So he's almost at 2 decades in the NBA, going into 25. So, I mean, that's good longevity right there. The one thing he's never done is be a rebounder. He can't rebound worth shit. That's him. And I know some people might want higher rebounding numbers, but I don't really concern myself with rebounding numbers for Brook Lopez because what he provides everywhere else is just kind of fine. Mid-range wise, I mean, he was always a dominant post force and in the mid-range. And then look at the last year in Brooklyn. He just randomly starts stepping out and knocking down 35% of his threes, 37% three-point shooter now at the center spot. Like, that's respectable as hell. And then on top of that, let's pull up defensively. The rebounding numbers are horrible. However, offensive rebounding on free throws, he's elite apparently. That's interesting. The block percentage, my God, 93rd percentile. Foul percentage, doesn't foul very often, 82nd percentile. Brook Lopez is an interior presence, and I've seen people, you know, everyone talks about Rudy or Wemby or stuff like AD are guys that turn people away from the basket. You know, you get a one-on-one against them and you're like, all right, let me pull it out to the perimeter. Brook Lopez might be on that list too of guys that you see one-on-one at the basket and you're like, might just pull it out and see if I can get something on him here. My God, the on-off numbers for each year. Free throw rate. He's really always been a non-fouling defender. Wow. Doesn't foul. Offensive rebounding wise, it's not like he's controlling the boards, but he is helping. You know, he is helping nevertheless. And points per possession wise, man, the defense has really gotten crazy good for him since he's joined Milwaukee. Of course, there's this down year. Random down year in 2021-20. Isn't that their championship year? Yeah, this would be, so 2020, 19 to 20 would be the Lakers bubble. 2020 to 2021 would be Milwaukee, then Steph, then Denver, then, okay. So yeah, the year after their championship, he was actually pretty bad. Really bad, actually. Minus 15 expected wins. Whoa, that's a big number. But since then, he's only gotten older, but he's also gotten better, apparently. Oh, he only played 293 minutes as well. So that might have been the injury year. But defensively, Brook Lopez clamps, bro. Look at these numbers. That's just beautiful. All orange and red. Chef's kiss. Brook Lopez, a force down low defensively who can get you a post bucket here and there. All right, Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren, relatively young player. I think he was only in year 2 last year, or maybe, yeah, year 2. Yeah, it was year 2. He's still not even 21 yet. Boy, is he a young cat. Jalen Duren is a very good NBA player, though, for not one reason specifically, but look at how he controls that glass. He just eats it. He eats glass. He eats glass for breakfast. Gotta be eating something. You look at the muscles on the guy. I mean, Jesus, if you never looked at Jalen Duren, look up a picture of him. He looks ripped, shredded. You know, just an absolute mammoth on the court. He's only 6'11", my ass. He looks like a closer to a 6'9", but his muscles wise, man, he's really well built. A strapping young man, if I must say so myself. I didn't mean to go to game logs, but you know what? 20 and 11 and 3, 7 and 9 from the field. 20. I mean, look at the rebounding numbers. If he plays, so if he cracks the 20-minute mark, he's almost guaranteed to get 10 rebounds, except for this random game against Atlanta. Oh, that's because Capella's also a glass hog. Makes sense. But Duren, plus 3.5 win differential, plus 6 expected wins. If yeah, with his point differential, they'd have plus 6 wins if the whole team was stepping up with him. Rebounding wise, you don't even have to worry about it. Closes possessions well, and offensively rebounds well, I guess. He's the new era board man. I mean, this guy, he's not Andre Drummond. Don't get me wrong, but this is a guy who can control the glass, and when you control the glass, you win games. How's opponent shooting accuracy? Oh, look at that. A net positive defender. Corner threes, minus 4.5%. That might just be luck, maybe. Not sure. It could just be luck because he is a big man, but at the end of the day, at the rim, minus 2%. That's actually pretty good for a young guy like him. Not even 21 years old yet. I mean, there's a reason I said the Pistons are a very interesting team to me. This guy contributes to it. He's an absolute mammoth on the court that controls the paint on both ends. All right, last one, Julian Champagnie. Oh my goodness. All right, shooting-wise. Oh. You know what? 36% from three is almost respectable. That's the thing. That's what I'm going to go on. He's almost a respectable three-point shooter. I mean, his effective field goal percentage last season was pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if he's good defensively. Kinda, yeah. Block percentage and 1.4% block rate as a forward. That's the 81st percentile. Doesn't foul as a defender. On-off stats, are they pretty? It's hard to tell. You can't judge on-off for a person like Julian Champagnie who's playing for the Spurs, because the Spurs were very bad last year. You know, so of course his on-off numbers aren't going to look crazy when you're playing on a terrible team. It doesn't really matter if you're on the court or off the court. They're probably going to lose. I don't remember him in Philly at all because he only played 3 minutes there. That makes sense. But look at the effective field goal percentage. Big guys making it work on-off. Offensively, you know, they're shooting better with him on the floor. Defensively, they're defending better with him on the floor. These are the narratives we spin. Julian Champagnie. He created Wemby. You know, the Spurs don't work without Julian Champagnie. What are the game logs looking like? Has he scored 20 this year or last year? Did he score 20? Did he put up a 20 burger somewhere? Down the stretch of the season, you'll see 17, 17, 15, 17, 12. These are respectable scoring games, you know, and the efficiency's not bad, you know, shooting pretty well. 17 points on 5 of 10, 17 points on 6 of 12. 17 points on 50% shooting is Tobias Harris's specialty. But we're obviously we're talking about Champagnie here. I'm making a joke at Tobias. But, I mean, these look like net positive numbers to me. Good block percentage, you know. What lineups is he playing in most? We'll go to lineups. Oh my God. Defensively, they're clampy. They're clampy with him on the floor. Look at that. I told you Wemby's created by Champagnie. When Wemby's off the floor, look how good they are with Zach Collins defensively. It's Wemby's fault, clearly. All right, I'm getting tired of spinning Champagnie narratives. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, sub. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go catch the game. See you guys in the next one.